Yes. Yes. I'm listening to Anjuna Beats, Volume 6. Paul Keeley, Paperjet. What a good song. You know, Above and Beyond made some really good music, and I think they still do to a degree, but everything sounds the same now. Like back in like 2004, 2005, 2006, someone like they had such a really cool like progressive sound to the whole like and Juna Beats, progressive house sounding thing. And now it's just kind of like, now it's just kind of weird. But we're doing this in 1080p. So let me know how you guys, I'm looking at myself pointing. Let me know how you guys feel about like I'm broadcasting in 1080p. So let me know if you guys are having any problems or anything like that. But actually, I drank all my coffee. I drank all my coffee, so we don't have any coffee for comics and coffee for our super late one. This is supposed to happen on Sundays, but we're doing it today because I didn't get a chance to do it on Sunday. So I'm not too worried about it. But anyway, I've been watching what you guys have been saying in the chat, my fellow watchers, my watchers, the viewers. I've been watching what you guys have been saying in the chat, and it is like you guys are cracking me up. You guys have a lot of mixed feelings about the Batman versus Superman movie, and that makes sense to a degree. I think that with the Batman and the Superman film, it really kind of splits people down the middle. There are some people who are like, man, this is going to be solid, and there are some people who are just kind of like, I mean, it'll be decent. Not going to be anything too outrageous. I don't even know if Sal's on. Like, I don't even know if he's here. Like, is Sal in the chat? I don't think he's in the chat. No, he's not in the chat. I was gonna say if he's in the chat, like I would definitely like hit him up, but he's not in the chat right now. But yeah, like I think it has a lot of people split, and that makes sense. It makes sense that a lot of people are really, really split about Batman versus Superman. Do you bleed? You will. I mean, that was a stupid teaser. I was like, really? Come on. Like, Warner Brothers, you guys can do better than that. But you see your own comment. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. The trolls are going to come out in full force because of this. But the really cool thing is I've got the great ban hammer of Mjolnir at my disposal, so I can just like ban them forever. And well, see, the really funny thing is on YouTube, what you can do is you can hide people's comments, but they'll never know. And so they'll be like, ha ha, troll, like I'm so funny, but the joke's on them because no one will ever see anything they post. So trolling the trolls. But yeah, it just started. Like I'm just kind of ranting on about like Batman versus Superman and stuff like that. But I think that Batman versus Superman is going to be solid. I think it's going to be good. It's going to have a few problems here and there. We're going on, Scorcher. Good morning. Good morning to you. It's going to have some weird moments, I guess, and it's going to seem a little strange. But overall, I think it's going to be a pretty good movie. I mean, I don't know if it'll be a contender for like the best movie of next year. I mean, but I think it'll be pretty good. I mean, I think it'll be pretty solid. I mean, it's going against Captain America: The Winter Soldier, so I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I don't think it'll do as good as Captain America: The Winter Soldier, but it'll still do pretty good nonetheless. So, that kind of power frightens me. Can I see God Benny? God Benny's not here. Base Benny, Base Benny is not here. Get Bruce Banner and the Hammer. So anyway, for those of you guys who are new, this whole Comics and Coffee thing is a weekly Q&A. It's a chance for you guys to ask questions that you guys have about me, about comics, about whatever it is that I haven't had a chance to answer yet on my YouTube channel. And sometimes ideas for videos come out of Comics and Coffee. So anyway, all trolls will be crushed by the banhammer. So, let's see. What do I think about a glimpse that we saw of Jared Leto as a Joker? I think it looks good. Like, we talked about this during Comics and Coffee yesterday. And I think that Jared Leto's Joker looks cool because he looks like the sadistic, crazy, psychopathic Joker that a lot of people are interested in. But he seems to lack, like, the goofy comedic element of the Joker, which could be good or bad. It could be disastrous in terms of how fans receive him, or it could be awesome in terms of what fans like about him. So it's really, in truth, it's really going to depend on the viewer. I mean, there are going to be just as many people that praise Jared Leto's Joker as there are going to be people who are like, this version of the Joker sucks. It's not the Joker I know, so that Joker sucks. And that's basically what it comes down to. When you have comic book films, you have people that go in and they're like, there is a version of the Joker that I love because it was a Joker I grew up with. And if it's not that that Joker, then that Joker's going to suck, and that's how they view it. I mean, it's just human nature for people to gravitate towards what they love. I mean, I do that, with movies all the time, and so it depends, on the person. But I'd say go into it with a clear mind, go into it with a open mind, acknowledging that this Joker is a totally different version of the Joker from any of the Jokers. He may share the same characteristics, he may be just as crazy or maybe just as funny, but at the end of the day, Jared Leto's Joker is a totally isolated, a different Joker from any of the Jokers in the comics so far. So, Rob, if Quicksilver can run as fast as a bullet in Age of Ultron, why does he die from being shot by a bullet? That's a good question. Presumably because he jumped in the way of the bullets in order to keep them from killing other people. That makes sense to me. So, that seems to be the case anyway. I could be wrong. I don't really remember that scene that well, to be honest, because it just kind of meshes together with the zillions of other scenes in the movie, just because there was so much happening. So, nonetheless, why can't I see the video on YouTube? I don't know. If you're posting in this, I'd say you could probably see the video. So, I don't know. Maybe make sure your flash is updated. I have no idea. Is Batman Beyond the definitive future Batman or Elseworld Batman? If you're talking about the current run of Batman Beyond, I'd say it's a separate Batman, because you have the main Batman continuity where Jim Gordon is playing Batman, but Bruce Wayne's still alive. Like, we know Bruce Wayne's still alive. At the end of Batman number 41, I think it was, like, you had a guy walking by and he was like, Bruce Wayne? And that's how we know that Bruce Wayne's still there. So I would say for right now, I don't know if it's really like an Elseworlds Batman so much as it is just a different Batman title. I don't know. I mean, it's difficult to pin it down in continuity because they haven't crossed the two over yet. That'll change if you see a story where you have Jim Gordon just like fly through the comic, alongside Batman Beyond. Then we'll know where the continuity stands. But right now, we don't know where it stands next to Jim Gordon Batman. So it's really kind of weird, because as far as I understand it, when I was reading the story, when I was reading the comic, it doesn't give you a time frame in terms of when it relates to Jim Gordon. So you're at work? Well, watch it while you're at work. Just say like, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick, and then just be gone for like an hour. So what do I think about Civil War #1 by Charles Soule? It's I thought it was kind of lackluster, to be honest. I mean, it felt like the what if story. What if Captain America... I can't remember if the what if story was what if Civil War didn't end, or what if Captain America fought on. Like, what if the roles were reversed? I can't remember off the top of my head. But it feels like a what if story. It feels like every other what if story based on Civil War that I've ever read is what it feels like. It doesn't feel new. It doesn't feel like it pops. It doesn't feel spectacular. It just feels like a what if story. And I think that's going to be one of the problems with Civil War #1. I mean, I looked at the sales for the monthly comics. Civil War #1 didn't perform that well. The top selling stories for Secret Wars right now are Renew Your Vows and, of course, the main Secret Wars series. Those are really it. Like, those are really the tops. Well, let me double check and make sure. I'm pretty sure I'm right, but we're not going to do that right now because I have the chat on here. But no, I'm pretty sure that that's the highest selling. That's the highest selling one so far. But nonetheless, they're still pretty good. I mean, the stories are still pretty awesome so far. Rob, you still working out? I'm about to hit the gym soon. Yeah, I usually go in the morning. I need to hit up a friend of mine, Pierce. Like, I've been meaning to hit him up, and he's been calling me, but I've been so busy. Like, usually by the time I realize he called, like, a few hours have passed. It's late at night, something like that, and I'm just like, man, I feel like crap. But nonetheless, he was the guy that I was like, dude, help me get back into the gym, and I kind of left him hanging a little bit, so I definitely need to not do that. By the way, Amazon Prime is having Prime Day, so if you guys want really good deals, go to Amazon Prime, because I think they were selling like 32-inch TVs for like $75, so it's stupid how good the deals are. They're flash sales, so they're up for like 15-minute increments, so you basically have to spend all day sitting at Amazon Prime to see if you can snag any of those deals. There was a Flash trailer that I know of, and I think they officially announced that Jay Garrick is going to be in Flash Season 2, which, you know what that means? It means we've got a Jay Garrick video coming. So yeah, I'm really psyched. I'm interested. I mean, the Flash TV show is awesome right now, so I'm really excited to see where they go with it. But hey Rob, hope you are doing well. I'm a big fan. What is your opinion on Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man versus Tobey Maguire? Also, Amazing Spider-Man versus Sam Raimi. I really liked Andrew Garfield a lot more than Tobey Maguire. I thought Andrew Garfield was a great Spider-Man. He was a great Peter Parker. Like, he played the character awesome. He had that great bit of, like, he looked the part. Like, he looked the way you would expect Spider-Man to look. Ultimately, it comes down to writing, and that's the problem. People say, oh my God, like, Andrew Garfield was terrible as Spider-Man. No, the writing for Andrew Garfield was terrible as Spider-Man. Like, that was not Andrew Garfield. That was a crappy writing that he got. The first one was good. The second one was garbage. In terms of comparison to Sam Raimi Spider-Man, leaps and bounds ahead. Like, leaps and bounds ahead. I mean, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man wasn't bad. You know, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. Amazing Spider-Man 1 was amazing. Like, I really loved it. And so, oh, wow, Jay Garrick and Wally West are confirmed. Well, we're doing videos on both. But, no, I think that at the end of the day, Andrew Garfield was a much better. He was a better physical depiction of Peter Parker. He played Peter Parker better. Like, he was a better overall character than Tobey Maguire. That being said, Tobey Maguire was still good. I mean, he wasn't terrible as Peter Parker. I mean, you know, it was just he didn't look like he didn't look like a teenage kid. Like, I wouldn't look at Tobey Maguire in the Spider-Man films and say that is the definitive nerdy kid. That's what I would expect a nerdy kid to look like. I'm just like, I mean, whatever. He looks like your average guy, as opposed to like your below average nerdy guy. So, let's see. Last Man on Earth. Why you no review? What are you talking about? Rob, do you think the new season of Arrow will be as good as the seasons before? I think so, because now they're officially saying Green Arrow, as opposed to, well, just Oliver Queen and the Arrow. Like, I think it's cool they're stepping into the mantle of Green Arrow. That being said, Green Arrow is basically Batman, so, I don't know. Let's see. I don't often catch the live Comics and Coffee, normally still sleeping. Well, justice sucks. Welcome to Comics and Coffee. Hey, Rob, I'm curious to know, what's your ethnic background? I will leave that to you guys to guess. Like, you guys guess. What's my ethnic background? Like, what do you think it is? So, if Warner Brothers contacted you with the part of a Star Sapphire, would you take it? Yes, of course I would. Star Sapphires are love. Star Sapphires are life. Let's see. Do you think we will see Swamp Thing on the big screen again? I doubt it. I mean, I think Swamp Thing he's really cool to comic fans, but he's considered hokey, I think, to everybody else. But then again, I mean, this comic book world is blowing up on the silver screen. Like, it now is a great time to be part of the comic book community. It is a great time to be a comic book reader because it's all blowing up so fast. They might make a movie about him. I mean, they may very well do it. So, you know what? We've made everything else. Let's just make a movie about him and see what happens. And people may or may not like it. I mean, he's a recognizable name. That he has really going for him. That's a big thing for Swamp Thing, is people know who Swamp Thing is. And so I would say that would probably help him out a lot. Besides that, I don't know. Your voice is like an angel. My voice is like an angel. Well, sometimes when I use my broadcasting voice, it's always kind of weird and more toned down, but, you know, at the end of the day, I think that people love the more, like, dulcet tones of Rob Jefferson. Welcome to another episode of KDOZ, KDOZ, your number one source for jazz music. Fun fact, my dad used to be a radio broadcaster back in the day because people that's where I got my voice from. People were like, you have the best voice for radio. And that's what people always told me, like, you have a voice for radio, you should do radio. And so that's one of the factors that influenced me getting in and doing this whole YouTube thing. But did you see any of the DC comics panels? I watched some of them. I didn't really watch that many of them. I think I saw the Ben Affleck one. I think Ben Affleck had one, but I don't remember off the top of my head. I saw some of them, but not nearly as many. Most of what I saw the Deadpool one. I saw the X-Men Apocalypse one. I saw a lot of those on, like, what was it? Clever videos, whatever that channel is here on YouTube. They had a lot of that stuff. So, aren't superhero movies oversaturating the movie market? I love them, but we'll get tired of them. You will get tired of them as long as they keep making movies about the same thing. But if they make movies about new things, it's not oversaturating. Like, having a million different Batman films is oversaturating. Like, we've had more Batman films over the last 7 years than we've ever had in the history of movies. I mean, you have Batman Returns, or I guess Batman Begins. Well, maybe not the last 7 years, but maybe the last like 10 years. You have Batman Begins, you have The Dark Knight, you have The Dark Knight Rises. Now you have Batman versus Superman, and then you're gonna have Ben Affleck's Batman, and you're gonna have Batman and the Suicide Squad. Batman's been featured a zillion times, so that I understand you getting burned out on. Superman, not so much, because well, I mean, we had Superman Returns, but we had no movies up until The Man of Steel for Superman. Um, I mean, Suicide Squad's never been featured before. I don't think it's gonna. No, clever movies. That's what it is. Thank you. Opinion on the Deadpool trailer. The Deadpool trailer looks amazing. Again, we talked about this during Comics and Coffee yesterday. The Deadpool trailer looks absolutely phenomenal. Like it looks like it's probably going to be. I mean, I agree with Benny on this. I think it's going to be the best movie of 2016 because it's going to be a rated R Deadpool film. It's a movie with an R rating that's customized for Deadpool. Like, in order for Deadpool to be done right, it's going to have to be rated R, and they're doing that. And so I think it's going to be a great. I think it's going to be a great film. Let's see. Deadpool trailer felt like a setup for X Force. I mean, the Deadpool trailer felt like a trailer for Deadpool. I don't know if it set up anything for X Force, but I mean, they could. I mean, you could easily do X Force based off Deadpool. But in 20 years, when everyone is tired of superhero movies, will we ever see a huge crossover of Avengers? Probably. I mean, here's the thing: there's a lot can happen over the course of 10, 15 years. I mean, X-Men Apocalypse could be a total disaster, and Fox is like, okay, fine, here's the rights back. Fox could say we're just not going to make movies anymore, and they end up making movies based on, or I guess they end up giving the rights back to Marvel. I mean, anything could happen. I mean, they could give the Fantastic Four rights back to Marvel. All kinds of stuff can happen. Disney could be like, okay, fine, like we'll pay you we'll pay you $5 billion for the rights to the X-Men and the Fantastic Four. They'll give Fox an offer they can't turn down, and Fox will sell the rights. Any number of things could happen. I mean, there's a lot that could take place. They could come to an agreement. They could work out a deal, and then we see like the Avengers crossing over with Fox. Who knows? Let's see. I think Suicide Squad will be the best. Deadpool trailer wasn't funny. I thought the Deadpool trailer was hilarious. Like it's I feel like people when they were watching the Deadpool trailer, some people were just like I'm gonna hate this trailer, and then they watched it. It's like, why would you go into it hating it? Like, why would you watch it if you hate it? Like, why would you watch something you don't like? Life is too short to be miserable all the time. Like, you gotta have fun. You gotta do stuff that you love. I mean, it's weird. Which, by the way, here's a question that I have for you guys. So I was thinking about this the other day because I was watching my video on I was watching one of my own videos. I was watching my video on it was Batman versus Superman, and like I was sitting there watching it, and I was just like, huh. As I was watching it, do you guys ever do that? Do you guys do that? Like when you're watching my videos and like I'm talking, and you guys are just kind of like, huh. Like, do you guys do that? That's what I want to know. Like, I'm curious about that because I do that a lot. Like when I'm watching TV shows and stuff like that, when I'm watching things on like what is it, how it's made, I'm just kind of like I'm just watching it. And it's just like, well, that's cool, and I really dig that. So, am I going on holidays? I mean, why did Hank Pym hit his wife? We made a video about that. But am I going on holidays? I mean, I'm going to the Comic-Con in September and October, and probably sometime during the holidays. But oh, Jeremy, that sucks. We'll see you later, man. Why is Doom scared? Or why is Doom scared of Reed? I mean, Doom is scared of Reed Richards because you do that a lot too. Sometimes, all the time. Doom is scared of Reed Richards because no matter what happens, Reed always finds a way to beat Doom. Like he always finds. See, I knew I wasn't the only one who did that. Like I knew I wasn't the only one. I knew I wasn't the only one. Hashtag, huh? Huh? Like, like I knew I wasn't the only one. Like, that's awesome. But no, I think that it made sense. It makes sense that Doom's afraid of Reed Richards because every single time that Doom comes up with a plan, Reed Richards will always find a way around it. And so, like, what we know is that, like, that Doom having all this power Reed Richards will find a way to take it. Like, he'll find a way to defeat Doctor Doom, and that's why he's scared of him. Now, here's the funny thing. I think we're gonna make a video about this, discussing like who's smarter, Reed Richards or Doctor Doom. But historically, it's just based on the writer. You know, there are some writers, like I think when John Byrne was writing the Fantastic Four, Doom was smarter than Reed Richards. You know, and Jonathan Hickman's his Future Foundation, like Reed was smarter than Doom. You know, it really just depends on the writer. It just goes back and forth. You know, there's no absolute answer to that question. You know, it just depends on the circumstances. It depends on what makes the best story, to be quite frank. And so that's how you really know, you know, who's smarter than who. But do I think the new Avengers look a lot like anime characters post Secret Wars? Yeah. Yeah, I'll go with that. I'll take that. I'll take that. Like that seems. Yeah, when Reed Richards watches my video, she's just kind of like, huh. Rob, what are your thoughts on a Moon Knight movie? I would go see a Moon Knight movie. So here's the problem, though. People out there, there's a lot of people out there who don't know who Mark Spector is. Like, we know, we love, well, I guess, I assume you guys love Mark Spector, but a lot of people are like, we really like Moon Knight. The problem is a lot of people would look at his character and they would say, this is Marvel's version of Batman, which he is. I mean, that's exactly what it is. He's Marvel's version of Batman. But a lot of people would be like, he's Marvel's version. Like, it's just Marvel trying to capitalize on Batman. Which, by the way, let them think that. Let's make a movie and we'll make a ton of money off of it. Like, I'm down with that. Like, I'd be okay with that. But why do you keep asking me if I will ever read Invincible? Like, why do you keep you ask that all the time? Like, no, I haven't read it. Like, why do people keep asking me about Invincible? No, I haven't read Invincible. I may or may not read Invincible. I have no idea. But I'm gonna add that to the blacklist. So anytime anybody mentions Invincible, it's automatically gonna get blacklisted, and people aren't gonna be able to see it because I'm tired of people asking me questions about that. Let's see, Marvel versus DC, who would win? I mean, we've had this discussion before, kind of. You know, cast myself in the MCU. We'll do that here in a second. I think, like, before it was Marvel. Like, I strictly sided with Marvel. Before it was just like, I love Marvel. I'm strictly siding with Marvel. Like, that's it. You know, I think Marvel's much better than DC. But in truth, you know, I think that it depends. Like, right now, I mean, I'm reading DCU. Like, I'm reading, you know, all the titles that interest me about DCU. But DCU is really good. I mean, it's really, really solid. Like, Vinny was talking yesterday about how he loved Red Hood and Arsenal. And I was like, I mean, I haven't really read it, but, you know, neither character really interested me enough. Like, I sat down and read it today, and I was like, it's good. Like, it's really entertaining. Like, I really like it so far. It's got action, it's got comedy. You like, you know, Arsenal's really cool the way that I never said I hated Invincible. I'm just tired of people asking me about it. I think it's really funny the way, like, he opens up issue number 1. I mean, it's solid, you know. It's really interesting. And so I think that I think it's a good story. I think that with Marvel and DC, for me, it's more difficult now to say Marvel versus DC so much as Marvel and DC, because I'm really starting to like DC a lot more. So, thoughts on Jim Gordon Batman? I'm going to make a video about that, so we're going to have that discussion. DC has better villains. I disagree. I think Marvel has better villains. DC has a mixed bag. I think DC, when it comes to heroes, DC's like Marvel. Like, Marvel has some good heroes. I mean, you've got, you know, like, you got Spider-Man, obviously, and you got the X-Men. You got really solid groups: Fantastic Four, the Avengers, Captain America, Thor, the Incredible Hulk, Iron Man, so on and so forth. In DC, you got Superman, Batman. You got the entire lineup of the Justice League, basically. I mean, I think of DC villains, and I think of like Captain Boomerang, you know, and like the Trickster and stuff like that. But you also have like the Joker. You got Harley Quinn. You got, you know, Enchantress if you're really big on Wonder Woman. You know, you got all kinds of villains out there for DC, which are pretty solid too. I mean, you know, it's difficult to decide which one's better. Did you hear the voice of the Thing? It's normal, just like normal. I mean, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm not going to like throw my hands up in the air and be like, travesty, this is a travesty. You know, I don't think it's that big of a deal. So, hey Rob, X-Men Apocalypse reaction. Okay, here's the thing about the reaction videos, guys. A lot of those reaction videos are copyrighted. And so if I make a reaction video about those trailers and I upload them to my YouTube, it could get me a copyright strike. 3 of those on my channel get shut down. So I'm not interested in doing material that's going to cause copyright problems. That's why you guys don't see. That's why you guys aren't seeing a reaction video for Batman vs Superman or the Deadpool trailer when it comes out or any of that stuff, because Fox and Warner Brothers are really bad about copywriting all that stuff, flagging all that stuff. Marvel doesn't care. Marvel uploads it, they put it out there, and people make reaction videos on it all the time, and there's no copyright issues. But Warner Brothers and Fox are really bad, and so I don't want to get my channel shut down, and that's why you guys aren't seeing those reaction videos. So this is the official announcement of why I don't do reaction videos. I'm going to assume after this, anybody that asks me to do a reaction video is asking for my channel to be shut down, which is hurtful. I don't know why people would want my channel to be shut down. So anyway, they have failed this city. I'm just writing this comment to see my name on the screen. Well, I mean, kudos. Do I think Deadpool can defeat Wolverine? That is a timeless question, because they have fought over and over and over and over again. Like, they have fought so often, and that is one of the big questions. Is Deadpool better than Wolverine? Deadpool's healing factor is more enhanced, but Wolverine is a far more prodigious fighter than Deadpool is, because Wolverine's been alive longer, and he has more training in fighting. So he's a much better fighter than Deadpool. But, you know, yeah, and Wolverine can die. Like, suppose, okay, back in the day, and a lot of this stuff has been retconned over the years with no real, like, definitive, you know, product, or no real definitive, like, continuation of it. But back in the day, in the 1980s or 90s, I can't remember off the top of my head, they had something called the Xavier Protocols. And the Xavier Protocols were basically Xavier's lineup on how to kill, like, the X-Men, how to kill mutants. Like, the most powerful characters out there, like Wolverine, Jean Grey, Cyclops, how to defeat those characters or kill them if need be. I think that what he had stated was the only way to kill Wolverine is to cut his head off and then keep his head separated from his body. That's the only way to keep him dead. Of course, we know now his entire body being covered in adamantium is a good way to kill him too, or to just take away his healing factor. But you know, we know that that's the, but nonetheless, you know, Deadpool, as far as we know, can't die. I mean, he was cursed with life. It's a campy thing, it's a joke, you know, but it is in continuity. So, yeah. How do I feel about Star-Lord and Kitty Pryde? It's okay. Star-Lord and Kitty Pryde is all right. It wasn't enough. Like, I'm not a huge fan of it. I could see where people would like it, because it's a really weird, like, it's strange bedfellows having, well, bedfellows. It's a strange mix-up having Kitty Pryde and Star-Lord together, but it makes for an interesting story. It's not for me, so I never really got too into it. Do I watch Game of Thrones? Yes, I watch Game of Thrones. What character do you like, Batman or Superman or both? I like both characters. I like Superman because he represents the greatness of humanity. He represents what humanity could aspire to, and Batman represents a guy who's just super smart. Like, a guy that, you know, that a normal human can do fantastic things if he has the intelligence, like it has an IQ that exceeds Albert Einstein, and if he has billions of dollars at his disposal, then yes, he can do incredible things. If not, well, then you're probably just not going to be able to do anything special. So, I don't know. Let's see. We have, hey Rob, I'm almost done making the video where I quoted you. It'll be out soon. Cool. I'm down. I'm interested to see that. Make sure you send me a link on Twitter or something like that. Why is your e-cigarette so big? That's what she said. Because this is a Sigelei 100 watt plus, and this thing cranks a lot of power. It actually holds 2 batteries, and it is good. Yeah. Oh, it's delicious. This juice is so good. He answered my question. Oh my God. Well, of course, it's a Q&A session. I'm not going to host a Q&A session and then refuse to answer any of your questions, answer my own questions. That'd be weird. That'd be a terrible Q&A session. Will I do a video on the Inhumans? I would, except that I already have. So it wouldn't make any sense to do a second video on the Inhumans. What flavor are you vaping? I am vaping. You're going to Laser Quest this month. Wish you luck. If you're going to Virginia Beach, best of luck, because those guys are amazing. Let's see. I forgot what you asked before. See, this is what happens when you have ADD. Like, your brain just bounces around everywhere. Where did Doom get the sun? In Battle World, the sun is Johnny Storm. He made Johnny Storm the sun. So he exists out there in the world lighting it. Which the question has to be asked, did everything just exist in total darkness before? Like, how did that work? Why is Jim Gordon Batman? We will discuss that in our video about Jim Gordon Batman. What is the meaning of life? To be awesome. I love questions, like I love when people ask questions like that. What is the meaning of life? The meaning of life is to be nice to people, do good things, and make the world a better place if at all possible. You know, to enjoy yourself, to enjoy life, to have fun. You know, that's one of the big problems. I think that too many people in this world exist and not enough people live. I heard that quote somewhere. I can't remember where, but that's a problem that I think a lot of people have. Like, they're born into the world, they go to elementary school, they go to middle school, they go to high school, they graduate, they go to college, they have a wife, they have kids, they have a house, they work, they retire, and they pass away. And they spend their life existing, and they never spend their life living. And that is a sad thing to see. Let's see. Is Doom Marvel's greatest enemy? Yes, because Doom is always pulling the strings. Let's see. Favorite hero? Robert Reynolds the Sentry. Like, he is fantastic. Like, I love his character. Before they did all that, yeah, 42, Life, the Universe, and Everything Equals 42. Yes, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I've read the books and I've seen the movie. Let's see. Thoughts on Arrow Season 4 and Flash Season 2. Which one do you like more? I am looking forward more to Flash Season 2 than I am Arrow. Because when you think about it, Flash has come a long way over the course of the first season. It felt like multiple seasons, to be honest. It felt like 2 or 3 seasons. But when you look back and you say, that was all Season 1, like, that was huge. Like, that was a huge season. There was a lot that went down. And it was done so well. So I'm really psyched about it. Thoughts on Ant-Man? I have not seen Ant-Man yet. And I am ignoring all information about it. So... let's see. Thoughts on Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One. Has she officially been cast? If she has, I'm psyched. I think she'll be pretty cool. I think it's a good idea to take a break away from tradition and to cast like a woman to play the Ancient One. Why is water giving me the burps? Maybe because I'm drinking so much of it. I don't know. I think it's a cool break away from tradition. Either way, Tilda Swinton never disappoints. I've never seen Tilda Swinton in a role that I didn't like, so I'm pretty psyched about it. Let's see. Yes, Multiverse and Flash sold it for me. Yeah, I'm really, really psyched. Worldbreaker Hulk versus Brawly. Brawly, any day of the week, like, hands down, would obliterate Worldbreaker Hulk. No questions asked. Let's see. What's your advice on how to start reading comics? Well, it depends on what you want to do. So here's a really cool thing. What you want to do is you want to get into DC, do your backstory, like do some online reading, watch my videos, watch Benny videos or Sal's videos on the New 52, and then just start with DCU, which is basically everything that was released on June 3rd. Following that, if you want to get into Marvel, read New Avengers and Avengers by Jonathan Hickman, which is New Avengers Volume 3 and Avengers Volume 5, and then just jump into Secret Wars. Like, that's what I would suggest. That's pretty much all you really need to do. Anything besides that, you can get in a trade. If you want to read One More Day, you can buy a trade for that, which collects all the comics from One More Day. If you want to read any of the old Hulk stories, things like that, I mean, that's a really cool thing now with Secret Wars. What Marvel is basically saying is that all the stories that you want to read before Secret Wars, just buy the trades. You know, those aren't in continuity anymore because a lot of those characters just are dead. Like, they're not there anymore. Marvel's really slimmed down the line. Instead of saying like, oh my God, there's like 1,000 characters in Marvel. I don't know where to start because it's all so crazy. You know, you can just be like, well, there's like 10 characters now. And so I can pick which ones I want to read, you know, and go from there. You know, if you're reading Secret Wars, and you're like the Maestro, like, who's the Maestro? You can just go read Future Imperfect, which is a 2-issue run, or I guess, a 2-issue run from Greg Pak. No, not Greg Pak. God, who wrote Future Imperfect? I don't remember off the top of my head. Jeff Loeb, I think. But you can go back and read those, you know, and that's a really cool thing now, is everything in Secret Wars are basically stories based on trades. You know, they're old stories. Future Imperfect, Planet Hulk, World War Hulk, you know, all that kind of stuff. Those are all trades. So you can definitely go back and read those. Rob, your favorite cosmic entity? My favorite cosmic entity is probably... I don't know. Probably Galactus, because he has the most character of all the cosmic entities, which sounds weird, I know, because all he does is go around and consume planets, but he's more involved in the lives of everybody. I mean, the cosmic entities, as you normally think of them, like, you know, Oblivion, or I guess Entropy, Eternity, no, Oblivion, whatever it is, the counterpart to what we have in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Eternity, death, infinity, all that kind of stuff. Like they are all just kind of there, and you only see them during like major crossover events that endanger the entire, all of reality. That's kind of the weird thing, but. Galactus has more of a presence, and so I'm really kind of interested about that. Peter David, there we go. Thank you. I was thinking it was either like Jeff Loeb, maybe Peter David, or like not Straczynski. He wouldn't write that. Future Imperfect, written by Peter David. Yeah. Do you think Spider-Man will have a big impact on the MCU? Definitely. Spider-Man is going to have a huge impact on the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Green Arrow versus Hawkeye. See, so you guys ask really difficult stuff. You guys are like, oh hey guys, here's a question. Let's take these characters that are perfectly even and are not in the same universe and say which one's better. Like you can't. I mean, there's no answer to that question. you know. Rob, answer my question. Who will play Red Hood? Rob, answer my question. Okay, you could say please. See, I don't do very well with being given orders on like being told to do stuff. Like, Rob, do this. So, like, that doesn't usually work out well. So, let's see. Please answer my questions. There we go. Hey, Rob, which Abdullah? I'm Abdullah from Saudi Arabia. I live in the U.S. Big fan. What's your character from Harry Potter, and which books do you like most? Voldemort, hands down, because he was so characteristically evil. He was so cool, such a good bad guy. Although I will say that Dolores Umbridge is probably the most evil person in the series. He's definitely the really cool character. That being said, book 4 is my favorite book because it's just so much stuff happens. It's so fun. It's a fun book to read, and I'm all about having fun. So, let's see. Gets banned. What? I'm not banning anybody. Let's see. Where do you read all the comics? Buy them online. Thanks. Yes, I have Marvel Unlimited. So all the old stories, Future Imperfect, all that kind of stuff, Planet Hulk, World War Hulk, and Civil War, and all that kind of stuff. I read those on Marvel Unlimited. Anything else that's brand new, I buy. Like I need to go to the store or go to the comic book store later today and buy my trades for all the stuff coming out today. So, have you ever watched a cartoon series based on Avatar: The Last Airbender? No, I haven't. I've never watched Avatar: The Last Airbender. Did I like Daredevil? Why do you guys ask me to answer your questions? Hey Rob, like here's a question, please answer it. Like, I answer the questions as they come in. Like I'm doing my best, but I mean, I can't answer everybody's. That being said, Daredevil on Netflix. It is good. Like I dig it. It's a really cool show. I haven't watched it a second time. There's really no need to, but it's pretty solid. It's a really good, down to earth, gritty video, or I guess movie, or TV series. Like I really enjoy it. If you command Rob, you get banned. No, you won't get banned. Let's see. But that film Central guy for spamming, that guy will get banned. Like spamming in the chat will get you banned. It'll get you banned forever. Oh my God. Because once I put somebody on the ban list, I never go back and I never take them off. So you're just gone forever. Let's see. Will Dormammu ever appear in the MCU, and what will it take to beat him? Well, see, that's a good question. Dormammu is a stupidly powerful villain from Doctor Strange's continuity. Doctor Strange himself has explicitly stated if Dormammu ever showed up in the Earth 616 continuity, in the main Marvel continuity, and he had full power, like no one would be able to stop him. So I'd say that if he showed up, he would probably lay waste to all. And I don't really know of anyone who would be able to stop him. But I'm sure Doctor Strange would find a way. So, let's see. In Civil War, are you Team Iron Man or Team Captain America? I'm Team Iron Man, which is a very unpopular opinion. It's popular opinion, I think, to be on the side of Captain America. But that's a funny thing. Like when you ask a person, why, like when you read Civil War, whose side were you on? Like 9 times out of 10, they'll say, well, I was on the side of Captain America. And if you ask why, they'll say, well, because freedom. And that's their that's their answer. There's no real thought process that goes into it. They're just like, because freedom's good, but it's not freedom versus security. There's a lot more to it than that. It's very complicated. Let's see. Hey Rob, love your channel. Do you think that Doom Patrol would make a good show or a movie? Why or why not? I think would make a decent TV show. Definitely not a movie. A movie's too big of a gamble. A TV show might be even a bigger gamble. But Doom Patrol's not selling very well, so I don't see them doing that. Here's the thing you guys got to consider when it comes to making TV shows, movies, things like that. It makes sense to do something obscure in order to gain some fanfare. But at the end of the day, they're going to go with what's popular because that's what's going to draw people in. The exception here are like Suicide Squad and Guardians of the Galaxy, and those were huge gambles. But under normal circumstances, that's why you see so many Spider-Man, X-Men, Fantastic Four, Superman movies. It's because they're big names. So, are you excited for Ant-Man? Yes, I am very psyched for Ant-Man. I am very much looking forward to it. Let's see, Rob, which do you like better, Quicksilver in Age of Ultron or Quicksilver in Days of Future Past? That's weird. Days of Future Past, Quicksilver seemed faster. In Age of Ultron, he seemed slow, if that makes any sense. He didn't seem as fast. It's. I mean, some people will say that in Days of Future Past he was too fast, but I think he was the right speed. That being said, I like the one in Days of Future Past better, to be honest, because he seemed more Quicksilvery in that he was kind of goofy, he was immature, but he was still pretty powerful. So, let's see. Will there ever be a Martian Manhunter movie? I don't know. I think it'd be cool to see, but I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. I don't know. I'm not sure I would go see a Martian Manhunter movie, to be honest. I think Martian Manhunter is a good character to make a movie about, with him being in the background, like a Justice League film or something like that, as opposed to a movie starring him. So, Rob, what's your take on the Suicide Squad trailer? I am very hyped about the Suicide Squad trailer. I think it's going to be great. I think the movie's going to be really good. I think the trailer doesn't really give anything away, to be honest. It gives us the premise of the film, but it doesn't really reveal like anybody dying. It doesn't reveal, what direction the Suicide Squad will go in terms of will they stay together, will they break up, how's the movie going to end. I mean, I think it did a pretty good job. Let's see. Ant-Man spoiler, Scott Lang is Ant-Man. Oh my god, you just ruined the movie, Banhammer. Why would you do that? Let's see. Do I think they should put Daredevil in Civil War? Yes, definitely. They won't, but I think they should. Let's see. Rob, fan from Guyana, I guess, South America. Did you follow the Twitter reaction to Batman vs. Superman trailer? Do you agree with, let's scroll back up. Do you agree with the notion that Batman is a highly overrated superhero? No, I don't think Batman's overrated. I think Batman's a product of his fanfare. People love Batman because he's a normal guy who can do crazy things because he's super rich and he's super intelligent. No, I don't think he's overrated. I mean, I think he has really good stories. If his stories were garbage, then I would say, yeah, he's overrated, but his stories aren't garbage. Under Scott Snyder, his stories are amazing. So, love your channel so much. Thank you. Let's see. If you had to be a superhero, what would your powers be? My powers would be to predict the future, I think. To, like, not in the sense that I would be, that I would, like, be able to like, stop and be like, I wonder what's going to happen tomorrow, and then instantly know, but in the sense that there would be a challenge to it. Like, I would dream the future. I would be clairvoyant, and I would have to decipher those dreams to figure out, what the future is going to be. That, I think, would be a cool power. Either that, or I would have the same power as like Sage, and that my mind would be like a computer. I remember everything that I've ever encountered. I would be able to categorize things perfectly and recall everything I've ever learned. So that would be a cool concept. Let's see. Rob, do you think Marvel will try to have the Venom symbiote, Venom story with Spider-Man? If they do, it won't be for a while. I think this is going to be a basic Spider-Man film. This is going to be the back to basics, Peter Parker gaining his powers kind of thing. That being said, I have no idea which villain they're going to choose. I think Mysterio would be a really good villain because it's a villain that we've never seen in any of the Spider-Man films. We've heard neither hide nor hair of Mysterio anywhere in any of the Spider-Man films, and so, I think it'd be cool to have him in there. But, there's other characters I could definitely go with. I mean, Eddie Brock Venom would be a good one, but they've done Venom, and I think Marvel's trying to steer away from what Sony's done so far. So, I think, some villains that we haven't seen yet. I mean, we've seen the Lizard, we've seen Sandman, we've seen Venom. We've never seen Carnage. I think it'd be too early to do Carnage. We've seen Doctor Octopus. We've basically seen everybody but Mysterio. So I think Mysterio would be a really good choice. Let's see. My wife remembers everything I have ever screwed up. She has that superpower. Remember that one time? Let's see. Ant-Man hopefully will be a hit. I think it will. I think Ant-Man's going to sneak into the theaters and blow up. Like, I think that's what's going to happen. I think people are going to be like, yeah, let's just go see Ant-Man and see what happens. They're going to walk out and be like, that movie was amazing. I'm not sure. Either way, I'm really psyched. Like, I'm definitely going to go see it. Is Xavier a bad teacher and a bit of a jerk? I wouldn't say he's a bad teacher, but he's an asshole. Like, Xavier's a terrible person. Let's see. Rob, actual Doom or Thanos Infinity Gauntlet? You're talking about Doom from, from Secret Wars? Because they've stated in Secret Wars that this version of Thanos from 616, from that universe is destroyed, is more powerful than all the other versions of Thanos in Secret Wars right now. So that Thanos, which by the way, he was awesome. Like, he was so cool in Secret Wars #4. Like, that was like the Thanos, where he was like, if one were truly God, then one would not shy away from it, But, I think that version of Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet would stomp the shit out of Doom, because Doom even though he's smart, this power is new to him, and that's what a lot of people don't get. Like, a lot of people don't understand that even though Doom has all this power, he has the ability to do virtually anything. He's so new to all of this. Like, he doesn't know what he's doing, basically. And that's the cool thing. That's the interesting thing. Having said that, I think that, I don't know. I mean, I think that with Thanos and the Infinity Gauntlet, he's had power, absolute power, so many times. He had the Infinity Gauntlet, he had the Cosmic Cube, he had the Heart of the Universe. He's had all these different forms of power, and he knows how to use them intelligently. And so I think he would easily stomp the crap out of Doom, because he's just more experienced. Let's see. Thoughts on Superman Red Sun? One of the best stories of all time, and I'm actually doing a script on it. It's difficult to do the script because the story's so big, but yeah, I'm working on a script for it. Let's see. Rob, what are your thoughts on Robbie Reyes as the all-new Ghost Rider? I haven't read it yet. I haven't read a Ghost Rider title in forever, so I'm not really sure how I feel about it. Let's see. Is Dark Phoenix the most powerful Marvel character? Not by a long shot, but she is really powerful. She's very, very powerful. She's right up there. But there are characters far more powerful than her. Franklin Richards dwarfs the power of the Phoenix Force. I mean, you've got the high-level cosmic entities, Eternity and Infinity and so on and so forth. The thing about Phoenix Force is that the Phoenix Force can't necessarily be destroyed, because even if the Phoenix Force were obliterated entirely, it will return. Like, it always finds a way to come back, because that's the nature of the Phoenix Force. So, a cuss word won't get you the ban hammer. A cuss word will automatically get blacklisted, so nobody will see your comment, because I'm trying to keep, this is a family-friendly channel, and we're keeping it clean. So yeah, your comment just won't show up. Let's see. Thoughts on Jeff Johns helping Affleck write the Batman solo film? That is amazing news. I hadn't heard that, but that is really good news, because it means it'll be written adequately. Like, it means it'll be written well, because you've got one of the best Batman writers, for a long time, helping him write the story. So, let's see. How did Doom get his powers in Secret Wars? We don't know. All we know is that Doctor Doom, Doctor Strange, and Molecule Man killed the Beyonders and took their power. We don't know how they did it. We just know they did. So, is the new Suicide comic any good? It's okay. I've read a little bit of it. I'm actually, I'm on Suicide Squad #9 now, I think, like the new Suicide Squad, because here's the thing. You had the New 52 Suicide Squad, and then they rebooted the Suicide Squad yet again and called it New Suicide Squad. So this is the second version of the Suicide Squad in the New 52. It's not selling very well, and I'm not the biggest fan of it. That being said, it's a cool premise. The problem is, no one knows how to write the story well. Like, no one knows how to write good stories for like Suicide Squad. No one knows how to write those well. You know, that's the problem. All right, that guy is getting blocked. Let's see. If DC and hi Rob, I'm Bob. If DC and Marvel did a crossover, should Loki and the Dark Knight Joker team up and wreck everyone? That'd be entertaining. Like it'd be fun, but no, I don't think that's gonna happen. Like I don't think that would happen. People would be pissed. Let's see. Is Doctor Strange really dead? We don't know. We assume so. We believe he is, but we don't know. So, let's see. Suicide Squad is more interesting. How can they be friends? Like what? I don't know what that means. Let's see. What's the next video you were going to upload? I'm working on a script today for Secret Wars 1984, so that's probably going to be the next video that I do. Let's see. Scott Snyder should help Ben Affleck. Yes, he should, because he's been doing amazing work with Batman. But, you know, I think that he's basically been on Batman. I mean, he's so... Scott Snyder, as far as I know, is writing Batman, and I think he's doing Detective Comics. I'm not sure. But he's been writing so much for Batman, I don't even know if he has time to branch off or anything. Who killed the Living Tribunal when Iron Man and the Watchmen and the Watcher find him? We talked about that during our incursions video, but the Beyonders killed the Living Tribunal. Let's see. When does Secret Wars 5 come out? I don't know. I think it comes out next month, but I'm not sure. You know, I don't remember off the top of my head. Let's see. Rob, who could defeat God Doom? I think that Reed Richards will be the one to beat him. Like, I think Reed Richards will just find a way to take his power or to just defeat him outright, but I'm not sure. Will Cyclops rise from the ashes, or is he truly dead? Well, remember, the Phoenix Force is just a vector. Or I guess a person is just a vector. The Phoenix Force is a totally separate entity. If Cyclops' physical body's dead, I mean, he's a Phoenix Force. He could probably just resurrect himself. But, you know, I'm not sure. You know, I mean, at this point, it's Jonathan Hickman. So anything could happen. And Jonathan Hickman can write anything he wants to right now. I mean, what he's doing right now with the Secret Wars story is going to set the stage for the future of the Marvel Universe. And so, you know, with Scott Summers being dead, I think the question is, will somebody else become the Phoenix Force? In which case, it'll most likely be Jean Grey from one of the other realities. But, you know, we're not really sure yet. What do you think will be the greatest fight in the Marvel Universe that hasn't been done? Oh... That's a big question. I can't answer that right now. I guess to take a crack at it, I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. Could you explain Hope Summers? I mean, I guess I could, but I don't really think she's relevant right now. So, let's see. Hey, Rob, what do you think of X-Men Apocalypse? I think X-Men Apocalypse is going to be solid. I think it's going to be a really, really, really good movie. At least I'm really looking forward to it anyway. Let's see. Rob, please answer. You the man, morning Rob. Should DC do an origin solo movie for Batman earlier than the confirmed Batman solo movie? No. They need to let Ben Affleck run with his Batman film, because Ben Affleck's good at directing, and he's decent at writing. I mean, him and Matt Damon had shared credit on Good Will Hunting, even though we all know that Matt Damon wrote that movie by himself. But I think he'll do a good job with the new Batman. So I think he wants to do it justice, and I think he'll do a solid job with it. How much money would you bring to Comic-Con? It depends on what you want to do, because it can be very expensive. Like for those 2 pictures that I got at Comic-Con, that costs a lot of money. So, why is One Above All not in Secret Wars? We don't know. The One Above All probably has no concern about what's going on. He may just kind of be like, it's the natural order of things, or the One Above All could be dead. Like, I have no idea. It may be that Hickman just doesn't care about the One Above All and will never include his character in there. I have no idea. So, let's see. Thoughts on the Marvel Summer Event thing? We've been talking about that already. Let's see. Was Night of the Owls, Court of the Owls good? Yes, they were very, very good stories. They're probably some of the best. Really, they're probably some of the best stories ever by Batman since Arkham Knight, or not Arkham Knight, since Nightfall. To be quite frank, PlayStation or Xbox? PlayStation. PlayStation has better exclusive games. Xbox has better multiplayer games. Let's see. Do I play Hearthstone? No. I don't play Hearthstone. Let's see. Can Superman die? Yes, Superman can die. He's been killed before. He was killed by Doomsday. He, presumably being almost powerless right now, can die. Who would win, Spider-Man or Iron Man? Well, they fought several times in the past. They fought during Civil War. They fought after Civil War. It usually comes down to a standstill. I'd say I'd say it's about even. Spider-Man has a lot of strength, but Iron Man can compensate for that with virtually any of the armors that he has. So it really kind of depends. Anyway, guys, this has been real. This has been fun. We're gonna go ahead and call it. I love answering these questions with you guys, but I need to get to work on the script, and I need to finish reading my trades, or I guess my comics for today. But thanks for coming out, guys. I'm sorry we didn't get a chance to do this on Sunday, but we'll be back on Sunday for the right time, or for the right day to do our comics and coffee, thing. But anyway, I'm going to bounce off here, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.